So, let's talk about that PS5 info dump today by Jim Ryan and Mark Cerny. This is going to be interesting. So, we finally confirmed hardware ray tracing. Yeah, and they talked about the benefits of the SSD, and they talked about, and this was interesting, they talked about some new kind of optional installs where you can actually install a component at a time. And this was a big deal for me because, well, I'm a space hog, man. I'm a space hog. Alright? I like to use up whatever I can because I like to have a lot of games. But at the same time, as you can tell, I am not a multiplayer dude. So having the option to install only the single player components of games I like, that's a big deal for me. That's a big deal for me. I'm very happy about that. And of course, hardware ray tracing. People were saying, oh, it's software, we're going to have a cheap console, we're not going to have no hardware components for ray tracing. Motherfucker, do you not realize how fucking intensive this shit is? 40 years later, and it's still a fucking nightmare to get it directly from the established hardware that we have now. Of course we're gonna have fucking hardware acceleration components for ray tracing. If not now, then when? What, another 20-year wait? Get the fuck out of here. But the biggest new piece of info, this was amazing. The DualShock 5 will have haptic feedback. That's a big deal for me, because that's going to bring a whole new kind of immersive, including force feedback triggers and haptic responses. That's a new kind of a combination of force feedback and rumbling feature for the sticks and the grips. So it's going to recreate new sensations for games, especially in VR, where you can actually now feel. They demonstrated Astrobot and another VR game. Well, I don't think they actually demonstrated Astrobot exactly, but they demonstrated something from the creators, from the developers of Astrobot Rescue Mission, and they demonstrated a new GT Sport demo using the PS5 dev kit, which they confirmed that the V-shaped dev kit was real. That's a big deal. Oh, the haptic, the haptic feedback is going to involve voice coils on the grips, and also a new microphone that's added. But we're probably going to hear more about that at a later date. Also, the release date, holiday 2020. That's the big one. And then that's not even all the big fucking info dumps that happened Sony related today so far. The new PS4 7.0 firmware just came out and allowed a couple of new features. Well, apart from what we already know of the 16-person chat and improved audio for in-game and party chat, we now have universal remote play on Android devices, as long as you have Android 5 at minimum. There's also an additional feature which bums me out for a bit, because This feature allows you to use wirelessly via Bluetooth your DualShock 4 for gaming. The problem with that is that that requires Android 10. And I only still have a phone that uses Android 8. So it's probably going to take me a while before I can afford a new phone with Android 10, let alone a new console. But hopefully this situation with my personal life goes through and I start to get working the way I want to. Other than that, huge Sony news so far today. And we don't know what else is going to happen next. The day's not over. What other bombs are they going to drop? Oh yeah, Bluepoint announced a PS5 remake in the works. Yay. Oh well. We'll find out more, hopefully maybe later this week or maybe even more today. This is Jules1, out.